Hello, my friends. So, my question for today's reading is, what do you need to look at? Um, and we're starting off with the Eight of Pentacles, the Empress in reverse, and the Prince of Wands, otherwise known as the Knight of Wands. So, the Eight of Pentacles is all about refining and building your skills. So this is about becoming a master. So this isn't a new skill for you. It's something that you've been doing for a while, that you've been working on, but it needs to, you need to work on it more. This is, I think it's kind of a grind phase, honestly. So when you're learning a new skill, it can be frustrating and exciting, but it's interesting and new. But then you come to the mastery part, and that just takes lots and lots and lots of practice. So it takes time, it takes consistent effort, it takes discipline. It's boring. Again, it may be frustrating if you're trying to master some particular aspect of it and you have a hard time with it. But it's a necessary phase. So there's change coming, but it's not right away. There's still some more work to be done, and that's just where you're at. Now, we have the Empress in reverse here. So the Empress is represents the anima, what are called or considered to be the feminine aspects of the personality, which is wildly inaccurate because it has absolutely nothing to do with biological gender. It's just social programming. So what happens is we, because our society doesn't value things that are considered feminine, whether, again, they're not feminine, they're just, society has arbitrarily decided that certain characteristics are feminine. For example, there was a time when pink was the color associated with boys, and I saw an old newspaper article. I can't remember how far back it went, maybe the 1800s. And it was saying something about how they thought boys were born loving pink. It's just, that was a masculine or a boy trait. So that's just an example to show you that ideas about what constitutes femininity or masculinity change over time. And we should expect more change. And considering the times we live in, hopefully there will be some pretty big changes soon. Okay, so in terms of the traditional tarot meanings, we have a sense of overwhelm, a sense of too much toxicity, a need for self-love, so a time for some self-care, but even perhaps some toxic behavior on your part. So perhaps you have become smothering in a relationship. Perhaps you are behaving in ways that are toxic, making demands that are unreasonable, setting conditions. I mean, there's healthy boundaries, and then there's controlling behavior. So make sure you're doing the boundaries and not the controlling. For example, for a boundary, you control yourself. You don't tell someone else to change their behavior or what they should do. You say, okay, for example, I am not willing to put up with toxic behavior. So you say, I will leave this situation, or for a period of time, or perhaps you just say, I'm done. Like maybe you have a really toxic manager who's taking advantage of you, and you say, okay, it's time for me to find a new job. That's pretty common. And that's an example of a boundary. You can't change the manager's behavior, obviously. You have no control over that. But you can control you. So you do what's right for you and you leave. As far as the Prince of Wands goes, so as a knight, they're all about action and movement, and this is the Wands deck, Wands suit, so there's lots and lots and lots of movement. The question is this Knight of Wands a healthy Knight of Wands? They are in the upright, so that's great, but Knights are temporary. They're temporary situations. They're, like I said, movement. They are not stable. So perhaps there is a lack of stability within yourself. You have the inspiration to do things, but you're probably a bit impulsive. You get super enthusiastic, and then this need to be persistent and do the work, do the grind, go through the grind. And you're a Knight of Wands. You don't do grind. You just flip from flower to flower. And that's not going to give you the lasting results you want. So there's the Knight of Wands may be passionate, but they're not in touch with their feelings. Their other feelings, their softer feelings. Self-reflection is not high on their list of things to do. So this looks to me like maybe what you most need to work on is emotional intelligence. And that is definitely a process that takes a lot of self-reflection and a lot of time. You have to see your own patterns. You have to be willing to see your own patterns. And that is a very valuable skill. It is also very challenging to develop, because you have to be willing to be honest with yourself and to take the time to process your own emotions, to look in the mirror and see who you really are, and develop that deep understanding of yourself. So for most of us, whether or not we are male or female, we need to spend a lot of time with our anima, recognizing it, valuing it, and learning to work with it in a positive way. And it looks to me like that's the work that you need to be doing here. All right, next question. Who are you? Who am I talking to? Or who is this reading for, more accurately? Who is this reading for? And any other messages you need? Oh dear. The fire ant has come up again. The fire ant, the golden egg, and the tarantula. Let's see what these have to say to us. I don't usually get 3 of these out. I can't remember the last time I got 3 of these out in one reading. Maybe never. So the fire ant, I already know. There's a tendency towards gossip there. Aggression, rigid thinking, following orders. Okay, fire energy flares up without us noticing. It's the force that attracts us to people and situations that feed our imbalances, rather than those that counter them. Gossiping and blaming are a few indicators that misaligned fire energy is at play. You may also find yourself stewing on a person or situation, only making things worse. How can you break free from the drama and cool down? Fire ants are surprisingly sensitive. Don't pretend the heat isn't getting to you. When in balance, thoughtful and disciplined. When out of balance, argues, excess heat, gossips. To bring into balance, solo time and walks at night. Okay, next we have the golden egg. First I have to find it. There we go. Oh, I was on it all along. Now I feel silly. Okay. Message at the center of the heart, the unstruck sound. Within the golden egg lies a precious sound. Deep within that sound resides a message. The sound cannot be heard nor the message discerned until we retreat from the noise of modern-day life. The magical essence of the golden egg needs warmth, quiet, and time to unfold. No rushing, pushing, or grasping. Find a place of deep and restful ease, perhaps through yoga nidra or meditation. If you do not yet have a meditation practice, take some time for introspection or contemplation. When the mind begins to settle and the breath is calm, ask the question that weighs heaviest on your heart, staying open to any response you hear. Engaging with the energy of the golden egg is an advanced practice. It requires becoming intimate with our very essence and comfortable with vulnerability. When a feeling of tenderness or gratitude arises from deep within you, know that you are well on your way. Your chest may swell, like you are seeing an old friend that's been away for a long, long time. Listen to the message they've been waiting to tell you. So this sounds very much like anima work to me. The qualities that they've been talking about, or she's talking about, intimacy, comfortable with vulnerability, feelings of tenderness, gratitude. These are all considered to be feminine traits or feminine energies. Of course, they're not. They are human, but it's fitting that they're on top of the Empress card. The golden egg in the fourth chakra. The subtle essence of the golden egg is nestled deep within the heart center, the fourth chakra. This chakra, called the Anahata, is the home of the self or soul. By bringing the mind into this center, we discover a portal to the most intimate and luminous space. It is said our inner guide sits there in deep meditation, waiting for us. Anahata translates as the unstruck sound. Okay. Next, we have the tarantula. Tarantula is fire. I think. Or is it earth? Yeah, it's fire. But first, I have to find it. Of course, it is the nature of spiders to hide. That's what they do. They're very fearful creatures and very sensitive. All right. Tarantula at a crossroad, claiming life's purpose. The tarantula represents a moment when a great decision must be made. It involves prioritizing your life's deeper purpose or dharma. A habit or routine from the past is sidetracking you from your dream. Yet a voice inside keeps begging you to refocus your attention. In order to find true happiness, you must choose dharma. Until you do, satisfaction will be fleeting. The tarantula hovers, patient and calm, like an old friend that knows your inner soul. It already knows you'll choose wisely. When in balance, follows intuition. When out of balance, hesitates, over-intellectualizes. To bring into balance, daily journaling. It seems that you have come a long way. You've been working on yourself for quite a while. There's been a lot of toxicity in your background. Maybe that's who you were. Maybe that's just the environment that you came from, what you were accustomed to. But now you've been doing the work. You continue to need to do the work to connect to your heart chakra, to your feminine traits, to become comfortable with your anima, to strengthen your anima. We need both fully developed anima and animus, the masculine and feminine energies, in order to be a fully developed and fully realized human being. And of course, we need our dharma, our purpose. This describes a process that takes time, patience, dedicated effort, and a willingness to wait or work with where you are. Dharma is something that unfolds. It comes to you slowly. It comes to you in pieces. It may be something that you once thought you would never ever want anything to do with, or that's something that you could never do. But you will find that as you open your mind to possibilities, as you open your heart, you begin to develop further as a person, and your path changes. So as you grow and change, your chances of finding your Dharma increase. Or I shouldn't say it. Finding is not the right word, because it's always there. You're always on the path. But it's an opening, a ripening, a flowering, an expansion of you. You become greater and greater as you do the work. And this is most definitely a call to do the work. But you're not going to get there overnight, okay? This is not a fast process. This is a slow process, because slow steps are the ones that last. If you try to take a big step and move quickly, which, we're all impatient, we all want that, but it's rarely stable. If you think of climbing a mountain, your best bet is a nice gentle path that may meander all over the place and take forever to get up the mountain, but it's a whole lot safer than trying to climb a cliff. So I would say that seems to be your message today. Hardly any cards came out, but I think the message is pretty clear. I am wishing you all the best. Take care. Continue the grind. I know that's so boring, or maybe it's exhausting, but be patient. Take care of yourself. Make sure you have a good bedtime routine so that you can sleep well and get rested. Take care.